this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our 3 in 30 alphabet challenges. We are up to letter X. Now, I did talk about this very briefly because obviously several people had suggested Xmas, which, fantastic. I didn't want to kind of slot it in though before the other letters. So I just, you know, that's gone by the wayside now. So what I have decided to do is excess. And by that, I mean like surplus. So for instance here, if I just kind of show you, if you've been watching my videos this week, we've been doing Project Revisited from 2019. And we used these book pages, which I've obviously just used portions of them. So this is what I mean by excess, is like your excess pieces, i.e. this that we haven't used, this that we haven't used. So just using up when you've used like a corner of a book page, for instance, or a corner of, say, like this here, book, sheet music, and now I've just got this excess little surplus piece, basically. So that's what we're going to go with, and we're going to obviously try and do 3 pieces in 30 minutes. Again, I haven't really got a concrete plan, so who knows how this is going to go, but we'll endeavour to do it. So I'm going to hit the timer now and we get crafting. So ready, get set, go. I will try and keep the timer in you know, in vision. Right, so the first piece, I thought we could just make a tag. We'll just cut down here. Actually, to be honest, we could make more of a sort of belly band piece. Let's do that. So I'm just going to cut that round. So, I mean, I've still got surplus here with this piece. Whether or not we will actually get round to using that, who knows? But, you know, it really is never ending, I think, the surplus that we have as crafters. So if we're going to use this as a belly band, if I were using it as a tag, obviously I would have cut it shorter and I would back it now with something plain. Because we're just going to use this as, you know, more like a belly band or a pocket piece or something like that, then I'm just going to back it onto some book page. Again, I don't have my sewing machine here, so I'm going to glue it to this book page. Of course, if you have your sewing machine handy, you know, sewing would be awesome. So I'm just going to spread my glue. Now, depending on the thickness of what it is you're using, you may want to reinforce this. This is not overly thick, so I might just go over that with another book page. You know, then it's going to probably be like concrete. I mean, hopefully it won't be too thick, but it's going to thicken it up considerably. So I'll just kind of go where I think that roughly was, like that. I probably should have cut that down really before gluing it again, but never mind. Right. So I'll just pop this on here. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing here. That's gone very strangely skewered, hasn't it? Oh well, never mind, never mind, never mind. So we'll just spread that glue out. So, I mean, obviously for this video, we've only got 30 minutes. This is going to not really be dry. It's going to be a bit of a soggy piece to be working with. But, you know, once it's dried, hopefully it would be quite a rigid, robust piece now to have as either a pocket or a sort of belly band piece. So I'll just trim that down here. Like that. Oops. I think I'm making that even worse, to be honest. Every time I cut it, it's going more and more lopsided. Oh well. Again, I mean, it's not the easiest when you're trying to trim things and they're soggy, because they have a tendency to, you know, flop over really. But anyway, that's fine. So again, I mean, I'm just going to just see what I've got here to the side that we could use. I mean, I've got this lady from my vintage lady cards. We could pop her on. I've got some lace trim here. This might be completely the wrong colour, but I just thought it might look quite good as a sort of contrast piece, but maybe not. So I'm going to just pop some doily behind this lady. I mean, actually I have got this rest of the doily piece which I could layer her up onto. Let's do that. I mean, I'm just really trying to crack on here and not waste so much time dithering around as I often do. So ordinarily I might not have necessarily chosen this lady for this piece, but I'm just keen to get on really, so I'm just going to go with her. Excuse the back, obviously that's just where I've been, you know, printing out my printables when I'm trying to get them right. So there we go. Just then tear around her. And just tear her just around here as well. Just go in a bit there. So she looks quite nice, and then I'm just going to ink this up a little bit here, like that, and then I'm going to ink this up because obviously it's quite white at the moment, so once it's inked up it will hopefully blend in with the piece that we're going to pop on a bit better. So just ink all around like that. Now, I mean, we might or might not want this here, but I'll just bring it in. So we might have her maybe on that side actually. Got a little butterfly here, which just thought might look nice. So we could have the butterfly maybe there. Now, do we need some book page behind her, do we think? Let's just have a look. Like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? So I might just go for that because, you know, haven't really got time for chopping and changing my mind too much. So we'll just go for this. I mean, it would be really awesome to be able to actually do one on time. There we go. So just pop that down there. And just pop that down there. Like that. Oops, I forgot to put the doily down, look. Okay, let's just quickly pop that on now. Like that. Oops. So, I mean, actually, that tacky glue being not so instant stick is actually proving to be quite handy at the moment. Right. Got some lace here, so we could just kind of pop some lace at the top. That's a better sort of colour, isn't it? So I think we'll do that. Oops. Just glue that on like that. Just trim that down at the edge and trim that header piece off. Okie dokie. So that's that. And then just see what else I've got. Oh, sorry, I did just whack the desk a bit, so apologise for that. I'm just seeing what else I've got here to the side. Oh, I've got some of Rachel's labels actually here, which might look really good because they're quite yellowy. So I think one of those might look quite nice on here. Perhaps I could have it like that. Don't think I've got one that's quite the right shape. Well, that's not too bad actually. I like to pop labels on generally hanging off. I have no idea why that is, but I just think they look really good like that. So actually what I'm going to do is pop that with some netting, I think, coming out behind it. So let me just glue this onto here. So, oops. Okay, so just pop that down like that, and then I'm just going to trim that here. Oops, oh, stuck on my scissors now. And then we can pop it down like that. So just going to glue that on. Okay. There we go, that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And then I've got some bling here just laying around on the desk. So we'll just take that. And we'll have that up there, I think. Oops, come on. I thought my mission would be to use up all 3 of those excess pieces, but now I'm thinking maybe that's going to be a tall order, so who knows. Who knows whether I will actually make that goal or not. There we go. Just pop that butterfly on there. Do we want any bling on the butterfly? Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe just a little bit. So we'll just pop that on there. Oops. Like that. Okay, that looks pretty, doesn't it? So that's like your either pocket or belly band. So you could obviously stick that on down the side. I don't think it's very straight, so let me just trim that down there. Try and get it a bit straighter. Or it could be obviously a belly band. So I'm just going to pop that to one side and we will do the next piece. So the next piece, let's pull in this sheet. Now, what was I thinking that we could do with that? Well, I didn't really have a plan in mind, to be fair. Well, let's just take some book page, and I think what we'll do is literally just glue this down. So this is like literally world's easiest book page pocket ever. So I'll just glue that down. Again, that's just to sort of reinforce that and make that a little bit thicker. And then what we could do, I'll just check whether I want this one or the other one. It probably doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. So let's just take this. And I think I will just tear round those flowers. So, you know, again, I mean, I'm certainly not fussy cutting these. I'm just like, well, I'm not even really fussy tearing them. I'm just literally just tearing them. But we're just trying to get them a little bit sort of shaped around. So we can pop that there. Again, I have got these labels of Rachel's, which, oh look, that would have been perfect for that other one, wouldn't it? I've also got my blue labels, funnily enough, beside me, so let me just see whether a blue one might look better. I don't know, because it might actually be that it doesn't go at all, because that's quite a purpley blue, and these are quite blue. Let's just try that. Oh, I think maybe the blue does look maybe better. Right, let's just put that up. Sorry, I'm now just literally dropping everything everywhere. Okay, so we could have that there. Now, do I want something else to go just behind that? I've got this, which I'd used for something else. We could That's quite nice, isn't it? Let's do that. So I'm just going to glue this down. Not going to worry about that pink flower because that blue book page flower is going to sort of cover it up really. So just going to glue that down there. Now I'm just going to ink this up a bit before we glue it on. Again, just so it's not quite so stark on the page. Oops. Like that. Actually, I have got this colour. That might be too samey. What do you guys think? Oh, decisions. Actually, I quite like that samey. It's a bit strange, but there's something quite nice about that, I think. So I'll just pop that down there. Like that. And again, let me just mop that up a little bit. And then we'll just pop this on here, like that. Okie dokie. So I hope you're all having a good day. Hope you're getting some crafting in. Oh, I just want to say thank you so much. A few people have put pictures, you know, on the feedback on my Etsy shop. Now, that just is so fun. I know that Heather put a picture of her Gosford Green journal, and oh my gosh, how gorgeous was that? And I loved seeing it. So thank you so much. It's really great, and I just, yeah, absolutely love seeing what you guys do. So really appreciate that. Thank you. I know that other people have put photos as well. I'm not just, you know, dismissing other people's photos, but yeah, it was just that I happened to see that, and well, I mean, I've obviously seen them all, but recently, and I thought, oh, that's awesome. So really cool. Okie dokie. Right, I've just fussy cut around that butterfly, and we'll just pop that on as well. Whoops. That looks quite pretty there, doesn't it? Now I have got this blue lace beside me, which, I mean, again, this literally only just that second occurred to me. But what do you guys think to that? Do you think that's kind of nice and bringing that blue out? Yeah, I think it does. Let's be brave and go for that. So let me just pull that piece of glue off the end of here. Okie dokie. Now I've got that glue stuck on my finger. Just try and wipe it off a bit. Just trim that down here. Oops. Okay, we're going to have that butterfly over there. And then I got a word here somewhere. Oh, do you know what? I had that blue flower. To be fair, that blue doesn't necessarily go that brilliantly with those flowers. What do you think? Well, I'll leave it there for a moment while I just have a think whether to do that. So we've got amazing. So let's just pop that onto a little bit of netting. So like that. I mean, I've really used a lot of this netting, so you've probably all heard before, but it's just literally, it's some of my daughter's old skirts. So luckily she has lots of those little sort of tutu type skirts. She loves those, and they're great because they're just an elasticated waist, so they're nice and comfy, they're easy to get on and off, you know, she doesn't need to kind of do buttons up or anything like that. And they're fab for obviously cutting up after she grows out of them, so they're definitely a sort of favourite thing to buy. She just wears them with leggings and, you know, boots and a little top. But, yeah, they look cute. Now, do we think go for that butterfly? Oh, yes. Because, to be honest, once I've taken it away, I think, oh, it looks really colourless now. So, again, for me, whenever I put things there, I generally just get sucked into then having them. So, there we go. Okay, so that's just a little sort of book page, you know, that I would use as a pocket, just gluing it on 3 sides and have it just as a little top loading pocket. So that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Just pop that to one side. Now, the final one here, I have an envelope, which I thought we could just decorate up the envelope with. So let's cut... Just checking which section we would like. So let me hold it up a little bit. Okay, let's just cut around here. And then we'll obviously trim it down in a minute. Just get rid of that. So I still have excess. I had hoped to obviously use every last scrap of that paper, but no such luck. Trim it down here. Like that. Okay. Now I realise this is not very straight at all, but oh, come on. Terrible cutting today. Terrible. Right. We've got that there. So again, I'm just going to stamp a couple of things in the background. Now, I've actually got some brown here that we could use. So let's just stamp, oops, a couple of corners maybe with some brown. Oh, doesn't look very brown, does it? Looks quite black. Oh well, doesn't matter. You know, the black is fine also, so it's all good. Okie dokie. It must just be quite a new ink pad, I think, that's quite juicy, you know. So it's coming out still quite dark. Check my flaps up the right way. So all I'm going to do for the moment is pop this on. Like that. Okay. Just mop up any excess glue. Okie dokie. Right, now, how do we want to finish this one? Let's just have a look and see what I've got here. I've got some of my little fancy frames, which they look pretty, don't they? So let me just ink this up a little bit, because at the moment it's obviously quite stark. Oops. I was then dipping it in the lid. What on earth is going on with me? It's because I don't really look where the ink is. I just like rely on my peripheral vision, because I'm normally looking at what I'm going to be doing next. And yeah, I obviously then just completely misjudged where even the pad is. And end up trying to dip it into either the StazOn, which has happened recently, or the lid. Oh well, never mind. Right, let's just ink this up. So we could have that there. Now, do we want some sheet music somewhere? We could have that like that. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I like how that looks. Now, just wondering whether we wanted to pop a flower on somewhere. So let's just take this one here. This might be too big, but we'll try it. So I'm just going to sort of fussy cut around that. that. Just see whether we'd like that there. It's quite pretty, isn't it? So let me just ink up. Actually, I'm not going to ink the sheet music up, strangely enough. I think it might look quite good to have a bit of a, not a contrast exactly, but so as it shows up a bit more. Otherwise it just sometimes, you know, can just blend in and in and in to the page. So I'll just quickly pop the frame on like that. Let me just ink up this flower like that. Going to pop that flower there. I think that looks really pretty. And then that's really nice, isn't it? Do we want anything else on here? So let's just have a look and see what else we've got. I've got a butterfly that's ready cut out. Oh, it's a bit blending in. Let me see what else I've got to my side. Because just here beside me on the floor, I've just got a bunch of things that I've been cutting out. So it's quite handy, obviously, if you've got some things ready, because it saves you guys having to watch me cut out, which is, you know, probably not the best fun, is it? No, none of that stuff. Hold on. Oh, what have I got here? Got a little label from one of my other kits. This is just from my Ring of Roses kit. So it's not really quite the right shape and size. What do you think? Oh, it's a bit strange, isn't it? Oh, a bit strange. Let's not go for that. Let me just have a look. Just to see if I had any butterflies that are going to be a bit more vibrant on there. I don't think I have. Right, well, let's finish it off with, just wondered about having a bit of red on there, which I know just is very, it's very brave, isn't it? A very bold choice, but I don't dislike it. Let me just try the ivory, which is obviously the safe choice. No, I don't want to be safe. I just want to be reckless today. So let's just pop that like that. Oh, I've got loads of mess here. I don't know quite, but I seem to have got everything very messy the last few days. I've obviously just been crafting and not clearing up at all. I mean, not that I do generally clear up, but I've obviously been, what I'm saying is getting one thing out after another. So, well, I guess I have, because I've been doing those revisiting projects. And then that obviously then becomes a lot of stuff after a few days. A lot of extra stuff that I've had out. Right. I'm just wondering if we could have it like that. Not convinced. Not convinced here. Let's just try it like that. And then if I put some gold trim, you know, gold bling. Where's my bit of gold bling on? Just cut some more. That maybe would just tie in the gold of the flower. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah. I still feel like I'm needing something around here, but I don't quite know what. Unless I cut out another flower. Let's try. I mean, this flower, my gosh, what a nightmare. Can you see the edges of those? Well, not obviously cut to its original shape, but hopefully vaguely resembling a flower. So let's ink that up to disguise my shoddy cutting. Just going to just trim off one or two bits that were a bit weird looking. Yeah, I might just pop a couple of extra flowers on, so maybe that one there. Because I just felt like it needed a bit more red. You know, as if it hasn't got enough here with the big red strip of lace. I must just add more. Okay. Well, the good news is by using that extra flower, I have dug more into the page that was left, so my surplus excess, you know. So I'm just going to pop this down here. Looks really pretty. And then I'm just going to pop the bling up there, or does the bling, should the bling be somewhere else? Maybe the bling should be down there. That's quite nice, isn't it? I wonder if I should have a bit of the lace. Let me just trim this down. I know that I'm now 10 seconds, look. Just 10 seconds to go. And here she is now mucking about. Going to pop that bit of lace on there. Okay. My timer's gone off now, so let me just turn that off. Just literally popping this down here. There we go, and I'm just going to, oh, pop my bling on. Sorry, just dropped it. Okie dokie, pop that on there. Yay! Got there eventually. So I'm going to be ruthless. I'm going to bin this because, you know, I technically really only have that one flower, which looks tricky to cut. So I'm going to bin that piece. Well, so much for the excess, because I still have this whole piece from that page and this piece and this piece. Now this one here, what I could do is actually just cut this last sort of matching flower. I'll just cut this one out. I know I'm going well over time now, but I can then bin this piece. So we have kind of worked our way through a bit more of the page. And then I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. And do you know what? I think what I'm going to do is pop this. Oh, I was going to pop it on the back, but actually it's quite nice there, isn't it? But I was going to pop it on here that would then tie that in to the front of the envelope. I like doing things like that. I think it just finishes things off really pretty. You know, it kind of just ties everything together, doesn't it? I mean, we could have that little bit of label that I've just got laying around as well. That's probably a bit weird, but anyway, we will go with that flower. So I now just have these two little bits. I mean, really any normal person would now at this point just, I mean, literally bin these two, but can I bring myself to? Probably not. I'll just pop them onto my desk. They'll just probably be buried under stuff and be found again in a couple of years. But anyway, let me move the timer and we will just quickly recap what we've made with our excess materials or our excess pieces. So we have got this, which we could use as either a belly band or a pocket on a page. We've got this gorgeous envelope. Love how that looks with the flower tied in on the back. It just looks really, really, really pretty. So I love that one. And then we've got this one here, which I would again just glue that on 3 sides and have that just top loading pocket there. So I hope that you like those pieces. Weirdly, what started out as being, oh, I might just have to quickly add that piece of bling there. What started out as being my least favourite, the red envelope, or the envelope with the red, I think actually is my favourite piece now. I find it very eye-catching, and it's just sort of drawing me to it constantly. So yeah, I hope that you like those pieces, and if you crafted along, I hope you had some fun. And yeah, I would love to see your photos, maybe on Instagram or something. It would be, yeah, really nice to see what you've done. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Thanks, In. Bye.